Hey, how are you? My name's Scott Parry. I'm the owner of Crown Money. So, dollar cost averaging. You may have heard of that, you may not have heard of it. I'm going to run you through what I do personally to get my dollar cost averaging in for my investments. The key to it is automation. You're busy, I'm busy. We've got kids, work, friends, all the sort of things which fill up our bandwidth. And certainly, dollar cost averaging isn't at the top of that to come investing. And so, I'm going to show you how I automate everything of mine, and then it's just in the background happening without me having to worry about it or think about it. So, what dollar cost averaging is basically putting a certain amount of money into an investment on a specific time frame. So, for example, your superannuation, your dollar cost averaging into the share portfolio, the managed funds, the ETFs that your superannuation is invested in, because your employer is putting in a regular contribution into your super fund. So that could be every month or every quarter, how often your employer does it. Bottom line here is you know your super goes like this. And so that's the same strategy that we're talking about, dollar cost averaging, putting a set amount of money into an investment at a specific regular time frame. And so that dollar cost averaging strategy outside of super is what I like, because it just I can access it now is really the answer to that. So what we're going to run through is what I've personally set up, how it works, what I do and why. And then from there, that's going to give you a little bit more of an idea as to how dollar cost averaging works and whether or not it could be a fit for you. This is certainly not financial advice. I'm just telling you how I do it, and then you can make your own decision. So let's start with sharing my screen. I'll get up a we are going to run with Raiz. So what is Raiz? So first and foremost, Raiz is a digital piggy bank. Okay, so back in my day, we used to have actual piggy banks. We used to get change when we paid for a coffee with a $5 note, and it cost $4.20. We'd get 80 cents in spare change back. And so I used to just put all my 50 cents, 20 cent, $1, $2 coins into this piggy bank. I'd always take it down to the bank at the end of the like 6 months or however long it took to fill. And I was blown away with how much was in that piggy bank. I was always more than what I anticipated. So what Raise is a digital piggy bank. These days, we're not paying with things with cash too often. And so what we want to do, we still want to basically get that spare change, and we want to not only put it into a piggy bank where it's not growing, we want to put it into a piggy bank that is growing. It's invested. So what this really means is every single time that you're spending your money by tapping your Visa debit card, Pay and Go, all these sort of things, it's going to round up your purchase to the nearest dollar. And so that coffee example, we go grab a coffee, we pay $4.20 on our Visa debit card. Raise the app will round that purchase up to $5. It will take that 80 cents in spare change and invest it into a portfolio as you choose, which are primarily the top 500 stocks in America, like Amazon, Google, Facebook, etc., etc., etc. The top 200 stocks in Australia, like the banks, CBA, ANZ, Westpac, NAB. You've also got obviously all the mining companies, and then from there it could have some exposure to the sort of Asian or other global shares. So it's called an index fund, and so it just tracks indexes. Not you don't own just one specific share, just like your super's invested. Okay, so you basically get in 80 cents and they're investing it into index funds like your super does, but this is outside of super. The best part about this is you've got 80 cents going today. And when I'm talking about dollar cost averaging, you're investing every single day you're spending, because that 80 cents for the coffee, then you could go and grab lunch and that was $11.10. And then that 90 cents rounds up to $12. That's invested. And so every day you're spending, you're now investing. What a great concept. And the best part about it is now, not only is that money going to a digital piggy bank, it's actually being invested rather than just sitting there waiting for you and not even keeping up with inflation. And so you can access this money within 3 days usually. For me, I just leave it. I'm a big set and forget sort of guy. It's one lesson I've learned is don't touch it. Every time I've touched it, it hasn't worked out for me. So we've got roundups going into that investment fund. It's in your name. It's in your account. You can do whatever you want with it. I personally like to just check in with it maybe once every month, once every quarter. I automate it. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to remember to do it. It just is doing this automatically for me in the background. So thereby we have our Raiz account. I'm going to run you through this, and this is literally my account here. So let's just zoom that in there. So here you got home, that's how much is invested. And then here you've got the portfolio of the account. So over the period of time, it's done 17% in growth. Over the last 12 months, it's done 9% in growth. I mean, like similar to a super fund. This is how it's sort of in mine is invested. So if you want to look at that, that's how I'm investing that there. These are the sort of percentages. I'm in terms of that very keen on the roundup. So that's that 80 cents for the coffees. That's how much has sort of gone into there. And then from there, I just love seeing that that continually just keep growing and growing and growing. What I really do like is rewards as well, where every single time you're sort of spending any of these shops or places like Big W, they'll actually, you buy a gift card with it, they'll invest 0.7% of that gift card. So it's like basically cash back in a way, but that it's actually being invested. Kmart, Harvey Norman, JB Hi-Fi. I mean, there's so many stores here. And so every time you sort of BWS, spending at BWS, you're getting 1.58% of that invested. So that really is something where whether you are sort of using Raiz for the roundups, you're actually just getting cash back for all of your spending. So that's my Raiz. I've said absolutely love this. I've got a little account for my daughter as well, so I can sort of see exactly what is sitting there. But that'll continue to sort of grow in the background with the roundups and the recurring investment. And so every single time I have a weekly Tuesday recurring investment, that recurring investment is really to top up the roundups because I want that snowball getting as much momentum as possible. And the more I can sort of invest on that dollar cost averaging, the greater the velocity of that snowball, the bigger the returns I get year after year. It starts to get super exciting. So that's Raiz. Now, as I said, that's like investing in index funds like your super fund is invested in. I also like the concept of gold and digital gold and silver and digital silver. And so what that is, it's actually called my investment here is actually called Bamboo is another 1 second, I'll just bring this up for you. So Bamboo is exactly like Raiz. It does everything Raiz does. It rounds up to the nearest dollar, et cetera, does the recurring investments. But rather than investing in straight up index funds like your super is, it invests into these digital assets. And so I'll just show how that looks. Okay, so this is Bamboo. That's sort of where it's gold, Bitcoin, Ethereum, silver, how it all runs there. You've also got the ability to jump into all your options there. So the asset allocation, roundups, how much you're going to be rounding up for each and every time you're spending, recurring investments, so the critical part, we're just putting an extra little bit over and above the roundups and there. So yeah, that's Bamboo, exactly the same sort of back-end tech as Raiz, and I like it because for me, I like the concept of digital gold. I also like the concept of hard physical gold. And so personally, for my investment philosophy, it's like I like to have those sort of safety assets. So if anything goes pear-shaped, then from there, we usually find that the stocks are sort of taking a hit. And then you Bitcoin, Ethereum, gold, and silvers are usually pretty strong when there's a flight to safety. So that there is my Bamboo app. So you can find that on the App Store. It's this little guy here. That's what it looks like. So just look for the green, sorry, for the blue button with the three shops there. So there we go. That is everything I am doing for dollar cost averaging. It's all automated. I set up once. I don't have to think about it. And you can see the amounts that have grown. Now, obviously, you've got to start small, but that snowball, once it sort of gets top of the hill, gets more and more momentum and gathers more and more speed as it goes down the hill. So you just want as long a hill as possible. The earlier you start doing this, the longer the hill that's got to invest, the longer that time period. And that's really what it is all about. So yeah, just working smarter, I can access that money if I ever need to. It's not locked away in super until I'm 60, 67. But the beautiful part about it is just automation. Like I just am so busy. I don't have time to be looking and worrying and thinking about what's happening every day. I'm spending money on my Visa debit card. It's investing the spare change for me. I'm doing a recurring investment every single week, and they dollar cost averaging into those investments on a daily basis. So it doesn't matter if it's up or down, I'm going to get the average over that period of time. And so that's good enough for me. I like the peace of mind factor. I like the fact I can actually access it at any time. I've got some friends who use it to sort of as their holiday accounts that have all that money, whatever sits in there, they use it on holidays. I've got other friends who use it to pay for their Christmas gifts once a year. Me, I'm a buy hold sort of guy. I don't touch it. I'm just going to let it compound out, and quite excited to see how that all unfolds. So that's what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. Any questions, let me know. But both those apps are downloaded on the App Store, Raiz, Raiz, and Bamboo Investment with the blue logo is how I found those.